Rogue there for a perfect defense of that early Adept pressure. It could have gone a lot worse. Those Adepts were in all 3 bases at once at one point, but the drones never stood their ground. They were always quick to run, and he mitigated a lot of the damage.
And as it stands right now in this series, our 2018 Intel Extreme Masters champion, our 2017 World Champion, is on match point. Can he do it right here in Zen? This is the man himself, in the bottom left, from Genetic Wings, he is Rogue!
And facing off against him with absolutely no room for error left in this series. Up in the top right-hand side, he needs your energy more now than ever. Fans everywhere around the world, you have to send your energy to this man. In the top right in the blue, he is Zest.
Currently #1 in Pro Tour points, but that might change here at the end of this series. Zest did get the block off on the natural this time, forcing Rogue to a different position. And I gotta say, even though this series has been rough for Zest for the most part, I like this map a lot for his style in PvZ.
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it? Awkward to move your units around. Things like Adept Shades being able to bounce between the bases can be very effective. And remember, Zest, he doesn't have to play that style. Earlier today against Serral, he opened up Phoenixes on this map and then did a brutal 2-pronged charge lot Archon attack. Dropped 2 Archons in the back of the main base, warped in 8 Zealots, and attacked the front with a bunch of Archons and Zealots at the same time. He's got a lot of variety. He's got a few different moves under his belt, that's for sure.
Speaking of variety, a little bit of a difference here from Zest, going for the Cybercore before the Nexus. A little bit of extra safety.
Yeah, that is going to give him a little bit of a faster Adept. Could even chrono 2 Adepts. It's a tiny map. So if you get straight across the map with 2 Adepts, especially with the third base being so exposed, you might be able to get 4 or 5 workers, or at least force a bunch of them into Spore Crawlers, pick off some Zerglings, get in between the 2 bases, catch the rallying drones. I'd love to see an aggressive opening like that.
And it certainly does play to it here on Zen. We have the first Adept being chrono boosted immediately there. Warp Gate gets researched behind that play from Zest. And, it makes a lot of sense for him to go for that Twilight Council and go for this build, and the Cybercore being done. Obviously, he needs to wait for that 100 gas to do it.
Yep, we are going to, of course, see that Adept pop out. Second Adept does start up, but just rallied home. So it looks like just a single Adept to scout.
Twilight Council gets plopped in the main base there behind the mineral lines. First Adept heading through the middle of the map, enjoying the sights of Zen before it becomes a battlefield of death and destruction.
Is that a probe in the top left of the map?
I think it is.
It is. Okay, it's going to be the proxy gate variation here. No robo, just going to be a ton of Adepts. Might even be a 7 or 8 gate Adept all in here. So this is a really, really big attack that's being planned here by Zest. It could always, of course, be a bit more of a standard one, just going to DTs behind it, warping up there in the top left. A few different ways this can happen, but either way, Zest has something special in store. Rogue here has no idea just yet.
And it is the Dark Shrine going down from Zest, but it's a proxy Dark Shrine. So Archon's looking to be the problem for Rogue, and even just having Cloak Boys in general, hacking and slashing through your drones, which they all one-shot, can be a massive problem. Rogue right now can guarantee what he's thinking. Again, Zest? Adepts against me?
There's a funny thing where we often think of DTs as kind of obvious in this matchup, and it's because the Zerg players have such good vision around the Protoss space with Zerglings and Overlords. They always see the Warp Prism coming, and they're kind of watching it. But when you come from the corner of the map like this, you can do a fast warp in on that gateway. The Dark Templar hit you from a surprising angle at a surprising moment. And sometimes when you... Oh, what the... Oh, my lord! Those Zerglings all on a diet. They just slid right through that gap. The Adept not in position on time. Good probe micro does make up for it, so it's not the worst trade. And there's nothing to follow it up, so I think that's actually totally okay for Zest.
Yeah, he was completely fine. I was very, very worried for him right there. Keep in mind that his tournament life is very much on the line here. He is 1 map away from elimination. Rogue's going for +1 melee here, so a bit of a different build from the Zerg. And Zest Dark Templar are about to be warped in here at that proxy pylon.
Oh, Zergling
Rogue's
comes up. He sees it. Now he's going to spot that DT Shrine. The DTs are already on their way, waltzing towards the third. The Spore goes down. It's not going to be ready in time, but can he protect it? He might be able to hold position. Drones and Zerglings in front by a few moments to get it alive. You can see there he is. Yeah, Rogue, he's putting the units up. He says, take us, don't take the Spore Crawler. They are going to try to hold their ground. The Zerglings, the drones, and I think he's done it. The Spore, oh, the DTs do get on top of it. Morphed into an Archon and recalled. Well done there by Zest.
Yeah, very nicely done. That Archon's going to survive, and obviously it will regenerate its shields. So it goes back home. Zest still making more Dark Templar here at this proxy pylon. Of course, Rogue will be able to clean that up shortly. DT holding that line until Rogue has lair and mobile detection. Nothing he can really do against DTs out in the field off creep at the moment.
I mean, you got to be scared of an attack coming from there. There's 2 gateways proxied up there, which is kind of unfortunate. If those gateways go down, that's a lot of your production that you're actually going to lose out on.
It does feel very awkward now for Zest. He wanted a lot more damage from that play with the Dark Templar.
Yeah, I like the Archons in the gap there, but Zerglings are going to catch it morphing, so they'll get quite a bit of damage on it initially. Rogue might just be happy to take the trade, even though that Archon will take out quite a lot of the Zerglings.
Well, apparently not. Archon holds the line, keeps that proxy alive. Rogue deciding to drone up instead and take those lings elsewhere. Looks like he might try and poke the third Nexus of Zest, which makes a lot of sense as +1 attack finishes.
Zest's economy looking kind of sick right now. 50
yeah, very nice.
Rogue only just overtook him on the work account. The third Nexus up. Oh no! Archon in the open!
Left out in the open, and then the Lings just nibble it to pieces. Down goes the Stalker, down goes the Archon, and the third base left very exposed.
Oh, and he's already got so many Stalkers. I don't know if there's, he was planning to do a blink attack maybe to follow this up. He had no Zealots. Normally you'd have some Zealots or something that was going to do a little bit more to hold on. But now all these expensive Stalkers just getting hammered. Rogue here with the +1 melee, an opportunistic wraparound, finds a good bit of damage.
Oh my god. And he's not done, Pig. Just circling around these slow Zealots into the main pace. Zest has lost his footing here, and he's sliding down the cliff face. Rogue is on the precipice. He's just flooding more Lings in. He doesn't even need to make Hydras. He got the Hydra Den, but the Lings could do the job.
Yeah, he's hanging off the cliff right now. And I mean, right now, Rogue is just viciously stepping on his handholds, trying to push him off the edge. The Archon's trying to come in to do a backstab, but the probes up against +1 melee Zerglings. A terrible fight for Zest.
Yeah, he's macroing his probes as well as he can, but the numbers game is bad here. He's trying to hold position, these DTs, which is a nice position, of course, but there is an Overseer, so Rogue can actually deal with these DTs offensively off creep now with a lair, and he just continues to find more and more damage. This is such an inexpensive play for Rogue on his 55 drone economy. Obviously, that's not a huge drone count, but with the amount of damage he's done to Zest, 19 probes.
Oh,
and the Archon!
The Archon!
No! Zest is falling apart. Rogue is all over him.
Yeah, this is absolutely brutal. Zest here with a wild, crazy play, looking to catch Rogue off guard, but Rogue's scouting is great, and his sense of weakness is even better. He sniffs blood in the water, he smells it, and he's gone straight for the throat. Zest unable to hang on the non-stop flood of Lings.
GG! And our 2018 Intel Extreme Masters champion is going to find himself the 2020 champion. Having your name etched on that trophy twice must be a hell of a feeling. He is, of course, also our first Pro Tour champion.
Yeah, just going to take a moment to collect himself. It is a special feeling to win anything, but to win an Intel Extreme Masters Katowice is something incredible. To win 2, that is unheard of.
The first man to do it as he goes over to the trophy. Well played. An incredible series from Rogue, showing the world that he is not just a flash in the pan Zerg. He's not just, here's my moment, and now I fall to the wayside. He has stayed relevant, and he is the champion once again.